George Galloway.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, as we know, and the plight of poor children in that divided world preoccupies many thousands, tens of thousands of the finest of our citizens, and the proximate cause of my applying for this debate, for which I'm grateful, was a visit I had from campaigners, from religious organisations and others from Bradford University. The campaign is around the organisation called Enough Food for Everyone If, and they will have lobbied most honourable members in the run-up to the budget, seeking an important relief for poor children in poor countries that the government sadly has on this occasion at least failed to rise to. It's my hope that this campaign can continue and that the government will take on board the demand of the campaign to introduce some kind of requirement on British companies operating in poor countries. In parenthesis, every 45 seconds, that's 45 seconds I've been speaking, a child in Africa has died of malaria alone, let alone all the other ailments which kill so many children in poor countries. Every 45 seconds a child dies of malaria. In the world as a whole, 110 million children go to work instead of school, children under 10. Children for whom there is no Easter, there is no Christmas, there is no holiday, there is no basic comforts that we wish for our own children. And yet in the midst of this we discover contemporaneously that many British corporations, companies, some of them very well known, are not only operating in these poor countries to take advantage of the very low rates of wages that workers are labouring for, but are doing their best in those poor countries to avoid, even evade, even the very minimal rates of taxation that these countries require from them. And so this campaign is asking for something like the disclosure of tax avoidance schemes that we have in our own finance bill to be applied to British companies, to force them to disclose what tax avoidance schemes they're involved in poor countries. But of course child poverty is on the march in our own country too, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I had a brief moment with you yesterday to allude to some of the child poverty in my own constituency, which is the second highest level of child poverty, the second highest level of child mortality in the entire country. I know that I won't melt the hearts of this government on that point, so I want to raise a very practical point with them, which even by their own terms is an anomaly. There are more than 10,000 children in Bradford who are not receiving free school meals, but who are officially under the poverty line. And the reason is that their parents are working and in receipt of working families' tax credit. So they're officially poor, officially below the poverty line, but can't get free school meals. But if their parents gave up their jobs, they would immediately be eligible for free school meals. How can that conceivably fit with the government's oft-claimed intention to try and encourage the unemployed into work, to try and help the working poor? Just in one city alone, the city of Bradford, more than, according to the Children's Society, more than 10,000 children living under the poverty line nonetheless do not have the free school meal, and therefore are likely to be going an entire day without proper nutrition. And I would like the Deputy Leader to respond, at least in writing to me, how this anomaly can be tolerated. Why not give the working poor at least the same break that we give the unemployed by giving their poor children something to eat at lunchtime?
Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Easter is one of the most important Christian festivals.